14 arrests were made in connection with child sexual exploitation crimes last week as part of a multi-agency sting in northern Nevada. On November 1st and 2nd, officials say they conducted an operation to combat sex purchasers targeting minors. Detectives were solicited by suspects through various online platforms and arranged to engage in sexual activities with undercover detectives pretending to be underage. Law enforcement arrested 14 people who arrived at the meet location. Just 3 months ago, these bleachers behind me were packed with around 20,000 fans to watch Nevada take on Idaho. After that, attendance continuously decreased with the exception of the game against UNLV. While a lot of earthquakes are too small for us to even feel, some of them can do severe damage to buildings and be deadly for the people inside of them. Luckily at UNR, many of the buildings, like the one behind me, are built to support itself against the potential power of earthquakes. Are students at the University of Nevada safe?
Everywhere we look, it seems that crime is running rampant, but that may not be the case at UNR.
Yeah, I feel safe on campus.
The university's police department is located within the Fitzgerald Student Services building in the middle of the campus. A constant presence on school grounds may contribute to the university's safety.
Yeah, there's been a couple of incidents where, I get the text that something's happening on campus, but they resolve it pretty fast, usually. There's always cops patrolling campus.
In fact, Chief Eric James says that the university is one of the safest places to be in all of Reno.
As I tell people, this is probably the safest 300 acres in all of northern Nevada, yeah.
It's impossible to prevent all crime on campus, but even then, James says that the majority of the cases he deals with are small, non-violent offenses.
Stolen equipment, stolen skateboard, stolen bicycle, it's the highest crime that we have here is property theft, 100%.
James's effort, along with the rest of the university police department, has helped Nevada maintain a safe learning environment for all students.
Although crime rates may be rising in some cities and at some universities, UNR still seems to be quite the safe place. From Reno, I'm Jake Klinger.
The war being heard around the world may be far from over.
A surreal moment that that I'll never forget.
The events from the October 7th terrorist attacks have shaken Israel and its citizens to their core.
It's either they or either us. There's no other choice.
Inside this house in Sparks, Nevada, the Klinger family lives, anxiously, hoping their family members living in Israel remain safe.
At this point in time, I have a full brother, a half brother, my father, and a stepbrother.
Among those in the home is Aiden Klinger, who recently visited the country just a few months ago.
Yeah, it was very normal. I was there with a few friends of mine, and we really got to live the tourist experience there, and no sense of threat or security breach whatsoever. It was just a very good time.
Aiden lived in the country until he was 9, so he knows firsthand what's happening in Israel.
I can remember vividly seeing a bus explode when I was younger, in maybe around 10 years old. That was actually the first time I went back to visit after living here in the United States.
In Israel, blaring sirens have rung throughout the country many times as of late. The sirens warn Israeli citizens about the firing of rockets and tell them to take shelter.
Here we had rockets few times while I was here. It happened during the day and during the night. The first days that I was here was pretty bad, so I had to go like 3 or 4 times a day, 5. And the last 2 days was pretty quiet.
Having lived in Israel his entire life, Gil says there's something different about this attack compared to those in the past.
We're dealing with 2 places. One of them is Gaza, what's in the south. And we're dealing with Hezbollah, what's in the north. Hezbollah haven't been started yet, but they could start any day.
Fortunately, no family members have been lost in the war, but Gil says the fighting is still close to home for him.
I have a very nice friend that she had a son that is 24 years old. He was her only son. He went to a party, this party that was like 3,000 or 4,000 people in the party. And he never got back. He was missing for a few days till they found his body.
Even with the tragic loss of life, Gil is still very optimistic about the outcome of the war.
I'm optimistic because I see that the country is very union now. What that wasn't in the last years, as I told you, the protesting and stuff. didn't do us good. But now I think everybody is union. And when Israel union, Israel is very strong.
The war is entering its third week on November 4th. According to the AP, over 1,400 Israelis and over 7,000 Palestinians have lost their lives. From Sparks, this is Jake Klinger.